Broncos country, a mile high salute to all of you guys. Man, officially, ESPN is officially on crack. Whoever works for them, whoever does their rankings across the board, they are on something. I don't know who the hell hired these people, but guys, I can assure you, just pay me half what you're paying them, and I could do a significantly better job. The Broncos coaching staff as a whole was ranked 23rd in the NFL out of 32 teams, right? And I'm not salty about that. I don't really care what you rank us. What I care about more is who the hell you ranked ahead of us, and we'll get right into that one. That one's this is crazy, guys. Before we get into it, before I show you this pathetic ranking from ESPN, check some of my other videos out. Welcome if it's your first time watching. Hit that subscribe button; it'll really help out the channel. If you love Denver sports, NFL content, fantasy football content, you're gonna love this channel. So smash that subscribe button. It'll really help me out, guys. Let's get into this now. All right, this is crazy. So we're going to go all the way up the list here. We got the Broncos coaching staff from head coach Sean Payton, offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi, and defensive coordinator Vance Joseph, ranked 23rd, right? Now, here's the thing. You can look at the coordinators. We'll talk about the coordinators separately. But if you're going to try to tell me that there's 22 coaches out there in the NFL right now that you can confidently say are better than Sean Payton, you are kidding yourself. There's no way. When you look at the history of where his offense has been ranked from his time in New Orleans, and really what the hell he did to the Broncos team last year, flipping that around, it's just asinine to think about. But then you go down the list and you say 22 is Tampa Bay, all right? They got Todd Bowles, who's never really been a good head coach, never really had that much success. I mean, they were decent with Tampa last year, but it was mainly because of his coordinator, Canales, not him. Now they got Liam Cohen, who I don't know anything about from a sense of an offensive coordinator. And they don't even have a defensive coordinator. And they're going to try to convince us that Todd Bowles is a better head coach than Sean Payton. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. And they don't even have a defensive coordinator. ESPN is literally saying you're better off not having a defensive coordinator than Vance Joseph, which, I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's also crazy to think about, right? Then you got Atlanta with Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson, and Jimmy Lake. Now, listen, I'll tell y'all something. I like what I think Zach Robinson can bring as an offensive coordinator. And maybe Raheem Morris in his second stint is going to be a better coach. But in his first stint, Raheem Morris didn't do really nothing. He might have been too young for the job, but what makes anyone think he can come in and he's automatically ranked higher than Sean Payton is beyond me. Zach Robinson comes from a great coaching tree, but he ain't never been an offensive coordinator ever. And then the D coordinator doesn't really matter because Raheem Morris is the head coach. Crazy, just crazy things to think about. Okay, but it gets worse, y'all. Jonathan Gannon with the Arizona Cardinals. He didn't do nothing in his first year. Maybe he's going to end up being a good coach, but there's nothing that he's done to make me think he's going to be, or he is a better head coach than Sean Payton. Literally nothing. Arizona sucked last year when they got Kyler Murray. They looked a little bit better, but they still sucked. I don't get it. Maybe in his second year he'll be better, but no playoff wins, no playoff appearances, no Super Bowl wins. Wild to me. Nick Rawls is like younger than me, so he might have a bright future, but it's wild. It's wild here. And then this one had my blood boiling. This one had my blood ready to go absolutely crazy. All right, listen, I love Robert Saleh. Shout out to my Lebanese brother. I like him a lot as a head coach. All right. But he hasn't done squat with the Jets. Nothing. I don't care about the Aaron Rodgers injury. Nothing. You never felt like, oh, the Jets are playing a lot better, and they're really maximizing what they have under Robert Saleh. And then offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. Oh, as a Bronco fan, guys, the amount of anger that this gives to me. Any coaching staff, I don't care if it was Bill Belichick in his prime. You have Nathaniel Hackett as your offensive coordinator, you're automatically deducted 10 spots. You'd rather just not have an offensive coordinator and have the teams figure it out. He is awful. He's horrendous. He had no way of adjusting after Aaron Rodgers got hurt last year. He sucked here in Denver. He sucked anywhere he went before. This can arguably be the worst coaching staff, without a doubt, in the NFL. Yet ESPN ranked the Jets higher, right? Robert Saleh, nobody in their right mind would say that he's a better head coach than Sean Payton. No one. You have to be literally on crack. Nathaniel Hackett is the offensive coordinator. Guys, there's no offensive coordinator in the league that's worse at all, ever. Right? Maybe in the history of the NFL, to be quite frank. And then Jeff Ulbrich don't really matter because he's not running the defense anyway. Saleh is. This is wild to me. This is wild to me. And, their thing is the big knock I will deliver is the hiring of Hackett, which was a kowtowing to Aaron Rodgers as the real decision maker in New York. Hackett is not an opposing offensive mind, and he drags the coaching staff down in my rankings, apparently. He should drag him down all the way to 32. Who wrote this? I'm gonna tag him. Ben Solak, awful. Horrendous job. This was one of the worst rankings ever. And to have the Raiders down here, that would make sense. But I would much rather take, a Luke Getsy and at least Antonio Pierce showing what he's shown over a lot of those other guys. It's crazy. And then Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury. Are you kidding me? Like, Dan Quinn's got a whole lot of success in this league as a head coach, going to a Super Bowl. And Cliff Kingsbury, man, he was a bad head coach, but I'll tell you what, he was a damn good coordinator in the opportunities that he's gotten. So wild to me, wild stuff. And we'll continue down. They even have Sean McDermott and the Bills all the way down here, ranked as high as number 12, I think. Yep, number 12. Wild to me. Sean McDermott is really an overrated head coach. He's benefited from a fantastic offensive unit, fantastic quarterback, a lot of talent. It's beyond me. And Joe Brady came in and kind of saved the day for them last year. Otherwise, they would have been dog shit. But Joe Brady didn't do anything prior to getting here to Buffalo. So I don't get how these people have this kind of notoriety and the ability to just put this out on a website like ESPN. Shane Steichen, really, Jim Bob Cooter, and Gus Bradley as the 11th ranked coaching staff. Who the hell is making this? Guys, I'm going to put together my list. Y'all can compare them close to ESPN. I'll tag ESPN. I'll tag this guy. I forgot his name already. Ben Solak, because that is wild. And he better at least have number one being the Chiefs. All right, that makes sense. Number two, the Lions. You could even make the argument that that's crazy because Dan Campbell screwed up a lot. I mean, Sean McVay, I'm taking over him. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan, I'm taking over him. I'm taking John Harbaugh certainly over him. It's wild to me. It makes no sense, and it makes my blood boil. So, yes, I wasted my time making a video about that, I guess. But really, guys, Robert Saleh, Sean McDermott, Jonathan Gannon, Raheem Morris, and Todd Bowles all ranked ahead of Sean Payton. You're going to add Hackett in there? It's crazy to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you disagree or if you agree with any of the ESPN rankings, I don't even want to see you in my comments for sure. That's all I got for you guys. Maha salute. Spend time with those people that you love. Go Broncos, and screw you, ESPN, because you are becoming trash.